This is Aluna ASMR, and tonight we are going to be doing a sort of guessing game, but you'll also need to know your Pokemon for this one. So, what the game is that I am going to have a Pokemon, one at a time, one Pokemon at a time, and I am going to give you the first and last letter of this Pokemon's name, and you have to guess what Pokemon it is. But the thing is that is all you get. That is all you get. First and last letter of this Pokemon's name. So there may be other Pokemon who share the same first and last letter, but you're just gonna have to hope that you have it right. Now, some of you tryhards out there are gonna try to think of all of the Pokemon that have that first letter and that last letter, but that is a challenge that I'm just gonna leave to you, and we'll see how you do. But yeah. Alright. Without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. So, I have the first Pokemon right here. And I am telling you right now that this Pokemon's name starts with an A and ends with an N. Go ahead and try and name them all. But there's only one of them that's right in front of me. Starts with an A, ends with an N. Ready? This Pokemon is Aggron. Alright, next one. This Pokemon's name starts with a T and ends with an H. Ooh, is that easy or hard? Easy or hard? It's easy or hard. Starts with a T, ends with an H. I hope you have your guess. 3, 2, 1. Trapinch. Your next Pokemon starts with an H, ends with a W. Ooh, this is either really easy or really hard. Depending on who you are, this might be your favorite Pokemon. This might be a Pokemon you haven't thought of in years. This Pokemon is, are you ready? I hope you have an answer. I hope you have an answer. Honchkrow. Alright, here's the next one. This Pokemon starts with a T, ends with an F. Starts with a T, ends with an F. This Pokemon is Tinkatuff. Next Pokemon. This Pokemon's name starts with a J, ends with an F. And I think they rhyme with the last Pokemon. You ready? Starts with a J, ends with an F. 3, 2, 1. Jigglypuff. Tinkatuff, Jigglypuff. Here's the next one. This Pokemon's name starts with an E, ends with an R. 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 And it has 2 G's in the middle. Ooh, big hint, big hint, big hint. This is, ready? Executor. Executor. Here's the next Pokemon. This Pokemon's name starts with an F, ends with an E. 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 What Pokemon is this? 3, 2, 1. This is Flittle. It's Flittle. Next Pokemon. This Pokemon's name starts with a D and ends with an I. Starts with a D, ends with an I. Starts with a D, ends with an I. This Pokemon, are you ready? You ready? Hope you're ready. is, ooh, this Pokemon is Dratini. Here's the next one. Some of y'all might get this straight away. This Pokemon starts with an S, ends with an X. Ooh. Who else could that be? Starts with an S, ends with an X, starts with an S, ends with an X. I'm sure you have it by now, right? 3, 2, 1. Snorlax. Who else would start with an S and end with an X? Who else? Here's the next one. This Pokemon, and it might be a little bit easier because it starts with an interesting letter. Starts with a Z and ends with an S. Starts with a Z and ends with an S. Z, S, Z, S, Z, S. What do you think? 3, 2, 1. Zapdos. Zapdos. Right. Here's the next one. This Pokemon starts with a G and ends with an I. Interesting. Starts with a G, ends with an I. Starts with a G, ends with an I. No, it's not Girafarig. That doesn't end with an I. This Pokemon starts with a G, ends with an I. Who is it? 3, 2, 1. Grafaiai, I guess. I think I've said this Pokemon's name like once. But here he is. Pronunciation's my bad. Here's the next one. This Pokemon's name starts with an M and ends with an R. Starts with an M, ends with an R. M, R, M, R, M, R. What Pokemon is this? Well, I hope you have your guess in 3, 2, 1. Minior. Here's the next one. This Pokemon's name starts with an A, ends with an E. Starts with an A, ends with an E, starts with an A, ends with an E, starts with an A, ends with an E, and it has 2 N's in the name. There's an A, there's an E, and there's 2 N's. I might have just given it away. Who's that Pokemon? Guess. 3, 2, 1. Annihilape. Okay. We're starting to get to the last few. Here's the next one. This one starts with an S, ends with a G. Starts with an S, ends with a G. Starts with an S, ends with a G. S. G. S. G. S. G. Who do you think? Starts with an S, ends with a G. I hope you've guessed it in 3, 2, 1. Scatterbug. Scatterbug. Alright. Here's the next one. Ooh, these cards are dusty. This Pokemon starts with a K and it ends with an A. Starts with a K, ends with an A. Starts with a K, ends with an A. And it has a D sound in the middle. Ooh, I hope you have your answer. 3, 2, 1. Kadabra. How many more do I have? Oh, I have 3 more. Let's make it count. This next one. next Pokemon starts with an M and it ends with an N. M, N, M, N, M, N, N. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? I hope you have your answer. Because in 3, 2, 1, I'll reveal it. It is Masquerain. Masquerain, Masquerain, Masquerain. Second to last one. This Pokemon's name starts with a P, and it ends with an A. Starts with a B, ends with an A, starts with a B, ends with an A. I hope you have your answer because in 3, 2, 1, I'll reveal it. It is Poochyena. Poochyena, Poochie, Poochie, Poochie. Alright, so here's the last one. Make it count. Make it count. Make it count. This Pokemon's name starts with an L. Starts with an L. Ends with a K. K. Starts with an L. No, it's not. Lick its tongue. Stop it. Ends with a K. K, 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 K. L. K. I know it sounds like lick, but it doesn't have lick in it. It's not lick its tongue. Starts with an L. L. Ends with a K. K. L. K. Starts with an L. L. Ends with a K. K. This is the very last one. I hope you have the correct answer. Here we go. This Pokemon is Litwick. Boom. And that is the end of this challenge. Tell me, how did you do? Was this too hard? Or was this just the right amount of challenge? I feel like whenever I do like games or challenge videos, half the people are like, oh, this was way too easy. I'm like, okay, let's give you something that might be a little bit harder. So let me know how hard or how easy it was and how you did. But yeah. I did my good nights in the previous video, so I will not be doing them in this video since I am doing 2 videos tonight. But if you are wanting to see those good nights, I would go to that Valentine's Day video. This is just the second video of the night. But yeah. Alright. I hope you'll have very, 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 very sweet dreams and a very